Hi everyone. Today we're gonna be talking about one-on-one meetings that actually work. These can be useful both for managers, product managers, business analysts, some functional leaders, for everyone who deal with the people in their workplace. So let's begin. Today we will talk about why one-on-ones matter for project managers, common pitfalls of one-on-one meetings, what great one-on-ones look like, frameworks and templates for effective one-on-ones, examples like conversation starters and questions that you can ask to to go through the your one-on-one actually, and actionable takeaways and next steps for everyone here. I found the really great quotation that the simple act of paying attention can make someone from feeling invisible to feeling invaluable. And while preparing to this presentation, I really remind me that one-on-ones are not the simple meetings. They're not just small talks. We are there only for listening the employee, your colleague, with whom you are speaking right now. So you need to listen, and the other person definitely will feel like being heard. So why one-on-ones matter? They help to build trust and rapport. Regular one-on-one discussions strengthen relationships and create safe environment. When team members trust you, they feel heard and valued. Also, they boost engagement. Employees who get frequent one-on-ones time with their manager are far less likely to become disengaged. In fact, I even found the studies that regular one-on-ones can make team members third time more engaged. So actually that shocked me. So 3 times more engaged. Also, they definitely help us to remove roadblocks. Dedicated one-on-ones helps to surface issues early and find solutions which can raise team productivity. Also, another study that helped me while I was preparing for this presentation say that you will have like 18% of improvement for removing road blocking if you have one-on-ones. And of course, it helps to retain talents, because managers who prioritize weekly or bi-weekly or any cadence one-on-ones see significantly lower turnover, as people are more likely to stay when they feel supported. And when someone feels invisible from our quotation, and if they feel that they aren't heard, the problems are keep growing and growing. And if a person cannot expose those problems, those minds, those thoughts safely, probably they can better find another company and another managers who will support them. So reframing the one-on-ones, the main purpose of one-on-one meeting is to provide a dedicated space for team members to focus on their personal and professional growth. And why one-on-ones matter specifically for PMs? Because these kind of meetings can be held by, for example, HR or functional manager, but they have another level of engagement and another level of support, I would say. So why specifically project managers should also have that one-on-ones with each team members on your project? So first of all, it helps you to understand individuals more and clearly. Project teams are diverse. One-on-ones let you learn each member's working styles, strengths, and concerns. This personal insight improves collaboration. When you know the personality, you will better manage and collaborate with them in a group, so like in your project team. Also, it's important because it helps you to influence without authority. You remember PMBOK teaches us that PMs don't have any authority. We can only influence. We are leaders, but without authority. And showing genuine care about a team member's growth builds trust. When people see you investing in them, they're more likely to follow your lead and go extra mile with you. Also, as from the previous slide, it helps you to catch issues early, different issues from the professional track or personal, moral issues, something like that. So a private one-on-one is the perfect forum for team members to bring up sensitive questions or looming problems they might hesitate to mention in group meetings. So when you hear something from your colleague on the one-on-one, some problem that he or she brought to you, you can address this. You can escalate if you cannot solve it, but you will definitely try to help. And of course, your personal advantage from one-on-ones that you will grow as a leader. Coaching and listening in one-on-ones hones you to leadership skills. The practice of active listening and providing feedback in one-on-ones makes you a stronger project manager and mentor. So before the meeting, one-on-ones are really structured. They have agenda, and before the meeting you need first of all set a regular reoccurring one-on-one cadence. So this is not the meeting for like one-time meeting and you will speak next time when you overhear some problems. No, this is the regular reoccurring meeting in your calendar. You need to pick up this cadence based on your actually resources, your time and team needs. So it can be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or so on. Then you need to share the goals of this one-on-one meeting and agenda in advance to your colleagues, and of course ask other person about their priorities. So you can craft an agenda, but you also need to listen to your team members what they want to speak, to discuss, and of course be fully present and prepared. So common one-on-one pitfalls. First of all, canceling or constantly rescheduling this meeting. This signals to your direct report that they're not a priority. I know emergencies happen, but frequent cancellations undermine trust. The next pitfall is no agenda or follow-up. As I said, one-on-ones are really structured meetings. They need to have agenda. Because going in unprepared often leads to aimless chats or smoke talks like, how are you? Do you have any problems? Do you have any challenges? Okay, thank you, bye. So that's not the reason for one-on-one meetings. The next pitfall is all status updates. Treating one-on-one like a project status meeting defeats its purpose. Project details can be checked elsewhere on your daily stand-up, everywhere, but not on one-on-one. Use one-on-ones for what can be seen in the status report. The next issue is performance review mode. So saving up feedback only for formal reviews instead of using one-on-ones for ongoing coaching and support. One-on-ones should be frequent touch points, not mini performance evaluations. So if you hear some problem, some challenges, for example, your team member as a programmer and he lacks some technical knowledge in the field and he faces some troubles with the current task based on his technical qualification, it doesn't mean that you need to hear this information and go to his review and express that he is not qualified at all. No, in no way you cannot do that. This is for you to help him face that challenge, improve, find the solution, and self-develop in that particular area. That's it. So you're here only for support and for trying to find some solutions. That's it. The next pitfall is that manager dominates the talk. If you do most of the talking, the employees' concerns stay unheard. So it was actually news for me that you need to stay silent and listen. So not just silent, you need to actively listen, but your team member, employee, should do the majority of speaking, like 80% of speech said should be by your employee. Lecturing or monologuing turns the meeting into one-sided updates. And the most crucial pitfall for me, which we should avoid, is that employee doesn't feel safe. So we do not provide safe space for him or her. Without trust or openness, the direct report won't share real issues. If they fear judgment or don't see you opening up, they'll shut down or stick to superficial topics. So this is just the reiteration of all the problems. So first mistake, not having a clear focus or agenda, doing all the talking, skipping or canceling meetings, checking your phone. It means not being fully involved, not actively listening. That's not a case. Here probably I will ask you to think which of these pitfalls have you encountered, and after this meeting please pick up at least one of them and try to fix, as in agile, some kind of a retrospective of how you're conducting your one-on-ones meetings, and pick up one action item to improve for the next time. The next topic which I would like to speak about is a focus on growth, not status. As in Agile Manifesto, here are the one-on-ones manifesto. Development over updates, relationships over reporting. So one-on-ones are created to emphasize coaching, support, and employee growth. We cannot hear or speak about project updates. There are tons of meetings to discuss issues, challenges on the projects. Here we will speak only about the employees, his or her feelings, personal track, professional track, anything but about the personality, about the professional growth of that personality. And relationships over reporting, we need to keep in mind that one-on-ones are also created to build trust and to enhance your relationships with each employee within your team. So the same info here, just in the portion of infographics. Shift the conversation from project updates to personal development. Ask questions that encourage learning and reflection. And later we will speak about which questions we can ask. So what great one-on-ones look like? They are consistent and respected, without a doubt. They occur at regular cadence, as I mentioned, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, etc. And they are rarely cancelled. This shows the meeting are top priority and builds reliability and respect. They are employee-driven. The team member largely sets the agenda and does 80-70% of the talking. The manager listens actively and only guiding if needed. Also, they are holistic topics. They go beyond tasks. Single one-on-one might cover current challenges, career aspirations, feedback, personal well-being, not just one topic, all of them. And they're obviously candid and supportive. There's mutual trust. Both parties feel safe to share concerns, give feedback, and brainstorm solutions without fear. It feels more like a collaborative conversation than a formal meeting. So, consistent and regular, focused and present, candid and supportive, and individual-centered, not project updates. The next portion of info that I would like to share is the framework. How can we conduct that one-on-one? There are different frameworks in internet. I am just expressing the way I am doing my one-on-ones. So we can start from personal check-ins, like 5 minutes, warm up with casual questions, how are you feeling, how are you doing, and etc. Then we can go to through current priorities and challenges of that employee. This portion, like half of our one-on-one, we need to discuss the development, the activities on that development track, progress, or any blockers, challenges that the personality may have. After that, development goals. So talk about the person's growth, training, career progression efforts. So we need to distinguish between current priorities and challenges. So here we need to speak about the nearest, for example, course or training that the person is currently taking, and the goals, like in the bigger picture, where does that person would like to go, like to develop in which sphere, and etc. And really important portion of one-on-one is a two-way feedback. So we need to exchange feedback with our employee. How are they doing? What feedback do they have for you, and what feedback do you have about them? On the next probably slide, I will speak about the questions which we can ask on the different portions of one-on-one. And it's really important to pick up some action items, discuss what the next steps in the development or in challenges on blocking. So we need to agree on next steps, we need to agree whether this person needs some support, and recap our commitments. So basically, even not using my framework from the previous slide, the blocks of 101 are pretty much like the same from framework to framework. We need to set the stage, we need to discuss the person's progress, explore challenges he or she faces, and create action items. Also, as I said, one-on-ones are really structured, and we need to prepare before them. So we need to plan ahead the discussion. We need to jot down a few talking points or questions beforehand, but we need to keep it flexible, not just the script that you have written and we cannot step out of them. And the little preparation ensures important topics aren't forgotten. So if you hear some info on daily stand-up that you can bring to 101 to discuss it personally, jot it down. The next important preparation step is share the agenda. If possible, we need to let the employee add topics before the meeting, because when team members contribute to agenda, they guide conversation toward what they find most valuable. During the meeting, we need to take notes. We need to write down key points or decisions during one-on-ones. This makes it easier to remember the commitments and track progress over time. Even a few quick notes can make the next meeting more effective, and we need to remember everything. It's kind of rude, for example, if the person says that he or she would like to take this course, for example, and on your next one-on-one you forget about this course. So just write it down. And another important point that we need to follow up after our one-on-one. We need to end meeting by summarizing action items, and afterwards you can send a brief recap with these action items and discussion points, just to ensure that everything are tracked. This not the speaking in the sake of speaking. That's the useful meeting, useful time, and there need to be some follow-up, recap, rethinking what has been discussed. Going further, the next 3 slides are just about the conversation starters and different areas of the one-on-one. So we can start, checking starters. We can start from the questions: how are you doing? How the past week or past cadence go? This ensures that you care about the personal well-being. What would you like to talk about today? Give the ownership from the start to your employee. What are you proud of recently? Anything blocking you? We can celebrate wins with them and share obstacles. This helps to recognize achievements and remove roadblocks. Do you need any support? How can I help? We can end the check-in by directly asking how you can assist. Sometimes they won't volunteer needs until you ask. The next conversational starters is about growth goals. What are your professional aspirations or long-term career goals? Invite them to talk about where they want to go in their career. It shows you care about their future beyond the current project. Do you feel like you are growing in your role? What could we do to support your development? This is really important question. You gauge their sense of progress. If they feel stuck, it's a chance to brainstorm growth opportunity for training. What next steps can we plan to help you reach your goals? Turn their goals into action. Discuss upcoming projects, learning opportunities, or responsibilities that align with their development path. The next portion of 101 about feedback and improvement, and we can start this blog by asking, how can I be a better manager for you? Really strong question, We explicitly ask for feedback on your management. This shows humility and that you value their perspective, helping create psychological safety. What's one thing our team or our company could improve on that's been on your mind? This empowers them to share ideas or voice concerns about the broader team or process. It signals that their input matters in making their things better. Are you happy in your current role? What's not fun about working here? This is the check-in on job satisfaction. It can reveal moral issues or misalignments. It opens the door to discuss changes that could increase their happiness or engagement. So all questions are really cool to ask and to hear and note answers, because they help to think, to retrospect how we work and where or when we would like to develop. So the last portion of my presentation, there are key takeaways that I would like you to have with you and to remember. So we need to prioritize one-on-ones. We need to schedule them at a steady cadence and avoid canceling. Consistency sends the message that supporting your team is important. Second, let the employee lead. Encourage them to set the agenda and talk openly while you actively listen. Remember, we need to aim the talk less than 40% of time. All speaking should be done by the employee. Third, focus on growth. Use each one-on-one to discuss more than status. Include career goals, learning opportunities, and coaching moments in the conversation. Also really important to create a safe space. Be approachable and honest to yourself. If you show vulnerability, it invite person to share feedback. Your team member will feel more comfortable sharing when he or she trusts you. And of course, really important to follow through. We need to keep notes, agree on action items. Then actually we need to follow up on what have been discussed. This accountability builds trust and shows that the meeting lead to real outcomes. Sorry. So that's it about my topic. I hope that was useful for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions unanswered, so please ask them in comments. I will do my best to answer all of them. So thanks for your time. Bye.